horses, but you're not looking at Wayne Williams. You're looking at Mr. Bill Skibby. And Bill runs this entire event. So, Bill, tell us about this 25th anniversary.
Wayne, we're excited about the 25th anniversary of the Rocky Mountain Horse Expo. We've had a great growth period. We've had a great rejuvenation of the Expo. It's full of over 150 activities for over the 3-day period. And people are enjoying themselves here at the Expo, and that's what it's all about. They're learning about horses, they're wanting horses, and we're growing our industry.
It's very good. The main event show was great, the night show. The drill team showcase was fantastic. So let's just tell everybody happy 25th Rocky Mountain, right?
You bet. Happy 25th Rocky Mountain Horse Expo. We've got even more to come next year. A lot of new things happening. We want you to be here.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you, Bill Skibby, the 25th anniversary of this Rocky Mountain Horse Expo.
Thanks for being here, Wayne.
The rural American lifestyle. It's how we work, and it's how we play. It's how we learn and how we enjoy the finer things in life. How we take care of our animals and tend to the land. It's a way of life. Has been for hundreds of years. Now there's a whole new way for rural America to watch TV.
Hey, welcome to Speaking of Horses, and we are here in Denver, Colorado. It's the Rocky Mountain Horse Expo. It is the 25th anniversary of this event, and this is March of 2018. Can you believe that? I can't believe that. Anyway, to celebrate the 25th anniversary, I'm very happy to be sitting here with two featured clinicians this year at the Rocky Mountain. Shauna Carish is here, and of course Mr. Richard Shrake is here. So, first of all, we'll start, since Richard and I have been declared the bookends, we'll start with Shauna. Give us a little bit about being out here at this expo and the 25th anniversary.
Well, it's amazing. You know, it's fun to be out here and talking to people and getting to educate people and helping them to get better about horses. And it's exciting and it's fun. So I've loved doing clinics and lectures and seeing old friends, you know, as we are. So it's been fantastic.
So your clinics, you're putting a little bit of a new twist on your training techniques. Tell us just a little bit about that.
Okay, I focus on the positive reinforcement training. So, and because I started with marine mammals, so that's where I learned to train. So adding the positive reinforcement in is not what historically has been done with horses, and so that part is interesting. It's science-based, it's relatively new, although I've been doing this for 25 years. It is relatively new to the horse world, so we're constantly educating, and you can see the exponential change. One of the things I recognized is people weren't really paying attention to the horse's emotions. They're using the training to get something done, but really what's the most important part is making sure we have the emotions right and learning more about how they learn and why they learn and how, if we get the emotions right, training stuff is simple. So I really kind of have a bigger emphasis on that these days.
And you know, you're right when you talk about, you know, that emotion. I've heard it described. I did some filming of the Oglala Sioux at the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation a few years ago. They call it the Horse Spirit Society. Their term is the spirit of the horse, but the meaning is the same. The horse has its own spirit or its own psyche, and you've got to get into that.
Yes.
All right. Richard, you're doing something very unique here at the Expo this year with a young rider who has never been around a horse. Tell us a bit about what you're doing here.
Well, you know, Wayne, it's something I waited my whole life to come to, and especially to be here in Denver. I'm old, so I of course been really, just flying out here over the Rockies. Denver's it's just magnificent. It's the West. But then to come to the place where America really started in the West in the cattle industry. You could walk outside and you can see the cattle yards where they brought in all the longhorn steers. I've been so lucky and judged the National Western here at the Coliseum. So walking back in is seeing America, history, and then being the first person to be. And then being able to come here. And I'm like Sean. I'm like, kind of like you, Wade. We've never really had a job. We do what we love.
You're right.
So all my life I've been in the horse game, and the majority of it honestly is kind of like professionally get tied into showing. We got into taking riders, amateurs and youth to the world championships, and it was great. We were blessed to have many great riders to make us look good. But I always wanted, and since I've been doing my clinics, I've found that rider that's never touched a horse, wow, that's the exciting when you see such extreme progress. So I said to Bill Scuddy, I says, hey, if there's a chance, if we've got some inner city kids, because we need those kids to be inspired to be our new riders to come up. And if we don't get in new people in our business, and if we need to bring them from the inner city, who maybe have never ridden a horse or touched a horse or had that opportunity, give me a shot, give me 1 hour, and I think that I can have a program that can take these kids that have never touched a horse. And if I can get their confidence, get them to love these horses, I can get them to ride, walk, trot, canter in 1 hour. He says, I'll make my church with that. And I said, you know what, Bill? And really, horseback riding is saying it's the emergency room doctor. You see the motorcycle riders and think they're horseback riders. No, that's
Right.
not. Horseback riding is not like this. It's the best exercise in the world. Give me a shot. I did. And we had one Yeti, and then Yeti that was actually shot to be better. So this is the first person story. It's the real deal. And she'd never been on a horse in her life. Volunteer for 3 years. Comes from the inner city.
And we're going to show you a little video of that here coming up in the show.
Okay.
So we're going to be able to show some of that video of the progress just this weekend of you working with that
Yes.
young rider. And one of the things you and I discussed, Richard, is that getting these people who aren't into horses involved in horses is a great future for them and the future of this industry.
Wayne, until we bring new people in, we're like that restaurant that forgot to bring in the vegetables and the fresh product. And then we got ready to cook dinner and open the refrigerator and there was nothing there.
Yes.
And I think if we don't bring new people in, we're going to be in that. And I love this industry. It's been good on us.
Well, you know, it's sort of like you watch clubs, for example, that membership ages and, you know, it becomes one of those, well, we've always done it this way.
Yeah.
And there's no
Change.
reason to change.
Yep.
And pretty soon they're down to a handful of members who are all aging. And then they don't want to do anything because of their age. And then they don't understand why they don't have young blood. And it's because they never cultivated.
And I like too that it can be kind of, horses can be considered a little bit elitist. Not everybody can have them or afford them. So for the inner city kids that live in the city, you know, that's the point.
Right.
They don't get to see the horses. They don't get exposed to them. And then they don't. It stays this elitist kind of thing. It seems untouchable, you know. But if we can get it to be relatable and touchable and help to inspire that, I think it's one, really good for the industry. Two, it's really good for the population
Right.
to be so
It
grounded.
is. There's a documentary that's out right now. It's called After the Dust Settles. And it's about a group in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They actually adopt Mustangs and then they get inner city girls to work with the adopted Mustangs.
Wow.
So they cultivate the horses and the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a documentary film out about that right now that was in the Expo Film Festival in New York in November.
Terrific.
But it's the same thing. It's taking these kids that have very mixed futures. The one girl that is featured in the documentary, you know, her parents were having a lot of problems. It was an abusive thing. She didn't feel comfortable even going to her own house. And she just took off on the streets. And she's one of the real stars of this program. And by the time she was a high school senior in this program, matter of fact, she could be a commentator for any network right now. She is very learned. that program turned her around remarkably.
Lane horses are so empowering. Period. You take some of these kids that when they have a chance to work with an animal that's totally unconditionally listening to them, doesn't care what color they are, what size they are, if they brush their teeth or have tattoos. He walks up to them and says, hey, you know, you're okay. And once they feel accepted, you see tournaments. Whether sport does it, bicycle riding does it, tennis, you know, soccer, stuff like that are good. You know, they encourage kids to build character and everything. But these horses are so solid and they're so good for these young people. And I'm glad, what a story. I've got to watch that.
One of the things that's interesting, and you just touched on it, and you know this very well, Shauna, is that when you get into using the horses, okay, or like all the years you did the mammal training with, you know, with aqua stuff, as I would call it. But when you get into the horses, it's one of the first things that these kids or whatever get into that's something to do, like you're talking about sports. Your tennis racket doesn't love you back. Your baseball bat doesn't love you back, but your horse will. And that's all the difference in the world. You lay that racket down and it's done.
Yeah, and I've had abuse as a kid. And to me, animals were, I mean, from very, very young. So to me, animals were the first thing that was so honest. You know, they never lied to you. Even if they're frightened or they're going to kick you, it was very honest from the get-go. And that became a very safe place for me, too. So these kids that have been struggled through,
Right.
it really gives them something safe to relate to on a human and empathetic level.
Well, we're running out of time, but let's start with Richard. Richard, parting comments for being at the 25th anniversary.
What a thrill. I've been here for many years, but just, you know, judging here at the Coliseum for the Denver Livestock Show is considered in America for the last 100 years the #1 premium livestock show above Houston, Dallas. You know, here we are. We're part of America.
You got it. Shauna.
Yeah, and I just love being here. I love the energy here. I've recently moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico, so I'm kind of in the area, so it makes it even more special.
Oh,
because
see, I didn't know you'd moved. I remember San Diego. I didn't know you had moved.
Yeah, and now we have a positive reinforcement training center called Terra Nova, new ground, new territory, in Santa Fe. But now it means I'm part of this area, which makes it even greater, you know, for me to be here and feeling this energy and people. I love it here.
Well, we're going to run some clips of this young girl that Richard has worked with. You're going to get a chance to see them. You're going to get a chance to see a little bit of Shauna in action. Because we're right here with Speaking of Horses at the 25th anniversary of Rocky Mountain Horse Expo 2018. Thank you. Hey, speaking of horses, Wayne Williams, we are here at the Rocky Mountain Horse Expo in Denver. This is the 25th anniversary of this event. My guest from Drinking Post Waters, who also is a fine sponsor of Speaking of Horses, is Brent. Brent, welcome to the show, but tell us about being here at the 25th anniversary.
It's been a great experience, man. Don't really have this. I think.
So did you talk to a lot of people?
Yeah, pretty fair amount of people.
So now, how long have you been working with Drinking Post Waters?
Most of 2018.
Most of 2018.
Yeah,
so how do you like working with Drinking Post? Do you like the product? You like the product?
Great product.
It's a, you know, once you know the particulars about it, it's a pretty easy sell. Because it's so simple and it just works that, you know, it's people don't believe it because it's so simple.
Exactly.
You know, and you have to prove that to them. So, so being the 25th anniversary, I know you haven't been to all 25 of these expos. But what's your take on being at the expo like this? Have you been to an expo like this?
I've been to a few. I thought this one was nice. It was a beautiful place. Great experience. Yeah.
Well, we're here in the National Western Complex in Denver. You can't beat that, right?
You can.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you here and have you a part of the 25th. Drinking Post Waters is a great product, and it's good to have you involved with Speaking of Horses. Brent, thank you. All right. Don't move.
his feet, and he's bomb-proof, and he locks his feet in the ground. Push on that horse now. Push on it. Get you over there. Try to get him to move or stop. Guess what happens? He's not going anywhere. You can't go forward. You can't go backward. You can't chase a cow. You can't rein, and he locks up. But once the feet move, so Cheryl, move your feet up and down. So horses, get your feet moving up and down. Those of you with your, there you go. That's good, little trot. Now watch this.
Well, right now we're watching a bit of the drill team showcase. Great local drill teams performing right here at the Rocky Mountain Horse Expo.
Whatever. So I get it. I'm sorry. Had I known, I would have been more ready.
The 4 drill teams performing here today: the Blazing Saddles team, Horse Mountain Dream Riders, Promenade team, and the Evergreen Drill team. Watch.
If tomorrow all things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. And thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away.
Family, and we only want the best for them. No standing water means clean, good tasting, algae-free, mosquito-free, and virus-free water. No risk of electric shock, no risk of fire from faulty wiring. Cool water in the summer, warm water in the winter. Water delivered fresh from the water supply at 50 degrees year-round. Drinking Post Water.
We want to introduce you to Orange Slow Feeder, highest quality, longest lasting heavy duty slow feed nets. Absolutely wonderful when it comes to longevity, where you're trailering, trail riding, or anything. These Orange Slow Feeder bags do promote slow feeding and great feeding of horses, and also will outlast anything you currently own. Check out Orange Slow Feeder. And we want to give a great big thank you to Total Equine. You're talking about nutrition, we're talking about feeds that matter, whether it's for horses, dogs, birds, or people. You want to check out Total Equine. Thank you for your support of Speaking of Horses. One of the features at the Rocky Mountain Horse Expo is what we call Art in the Park, a nice park setting, tables, chairs, and some wonderful art to take a look at. Art in the Park, Rocky Mountain Horse Expo. Hey, speaking of horses, we're still here, Rocky Mountain Horse Expo, Denver, Colorado. It's March of 2018, it's their 25th anniversary. Right now, we are talking with Mike at DP Waterers, and Mike, you've been coming to the show for a few years, and DP Waterers, of course, again, a fine sponsor with Speaking of Horses. We appreciate that. But tell us about being here at the 25th anniversary.
Oh, it was great. It was great. We had great crowds, a lot of fun, a lot of interest in Drinking Post, and really just overall a fantastic weekend. It was really neat to be a part of the 25th anniversary here at the Rocky Mountain Horse Expo.
And what a lot of people may or may not understand is the company is based here in Denver, so you're really but just a few miles from here, right?
Yeah, it was a hometown show for us, so we were really happy to be here. Had a great show.
Well, it does well. There's a lot of horse people in this area, obviously. We're in Colorado. But your water is also, service into the cattle market, sheep, whatever. So they're pretty universal in their need.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had some of our cattle customer come through the show this afternoon, kind of chatting us up a little bit. Things are going great. We're real excited just to be here and have the opportunity to meet with some current customers and also hopefully some future ones as well.
Well, I noticed that Joe just went behind the backdrop, so there he comes around over here.
Yeah.
That must mean the interview's over. Oh, we're just joking. Joe is Mike's son, and he's having a ball here too. But Mike, thanks a lot for being here and being a part of the 25th and working with Speaking of Horses. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Wayne. It's great to be here. Great to be a part of Speaking of Horses.
And if you want to get a great waterer, never freezes, no electricity, Drinking Post. Check them out. Thank you.
Man, as we get older, John, we start letting our pride getting away. So when we have children that ride well, or we have a wife that really rides well, we're embarrassed to go out because maybe we don't know how to put the halter on. We don't want to look stupid. And believe it or not, the AQHA took a survey, and that's 50% of the reason why a lot of men don't ride. We have over 80% of women in the business. They're embarrassed. And then there's other reasons. It can be expensive. And like Kamala here, who lives in, let's just go live in here. This is going to be great. Do you live out on a big ranch and farm in the country? No. Where do you live? Okay. Suburbs. So she's in the city, basically, on the freeways. So horses aren't right in the backyard. And so many of our population now don't live out on ranches and farms. And so we're not around animals, we're not around horses. But let me tell you what, they still have a love for animals. They still have a love for horses. So having the accessibility to horses, like when I grew up, it was part of 4-H, it was part of life. Dick, we were, you were from Detroit. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, to do this demonstration today, I couldn't do this on my own. I have to depend on superstars. And why this went well the other day and is going to go well today is this time, other than when I was in Pennsylvania 28 years ago when I tried the same demonstration and actually had a rider fall off because I wasn't prepared. I didn't have Julia Hershey. Julia's here. She's not only a CHA professional, she's on our certification program. She lives in Colorado, right here, right out in Colorado Springs. She is a teacher par excellence, loves horses. She has one of her best friends, I would say her best friend, this mare right here that's 24. And she's probably started more horses than Martha Stewart's cooked cakes. So we've got the perfect horse, 24, given a lot of lessons. We've got a very talented trainer, instructor, and I'll tell you what, of all the instructors I've worked with, and I've worked with a lot of them, from South Africa to Australia, Julia Hirsch is as safety conscious as anybody. She would catch this girl in mid-air before she hit the ground. That's the kind of teacher she is. So my fears of anything happening aren't going to happen. Our other rider over here, Tiffany, give us a little wave out here. Tiffany Stover is, her mother is in our program, also a teacher, but I'll tell you what, have you ever seen situations, Dick, where the kids out do better than the parents? As teachers and instructors, riders, that's the best. Just amazing. And walk. This is just something. Now she's going to lunge her at a walk. Now here's the key you got to learn to do. Punch, 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 punch. Get stronger in your punch and pick up a trot. When you get back out there in the middle, there you go, Julia. Watch your big arms out there, Julia. You got some obstacles. Don't want to run into that, man. Okay, good girl. Look at this. I'm liking it. Okay, now you're going to inhale, and Julia's going to give you a little timing, and she's just going to have you post with the rhythm. 2, 3, and just try a little lift in your seat. Let your hips open and close, open and close. Doing good.
King Barns, located in New Holland, Pennsylvania. If you want a great custom-built barn, you got to contact kingbarns.com. All kinds of customized barns, top-grade materials, and wonderful custom design to meet your request. Please check out King Barns today. Source Nutrition, one of the fine sponsors, Source Nutrition, micronutrients developed from the seaweed harvested off the coast of Maine, aids in digestion, helps with older horses, keeps everything moving fine in your horse's digestive tract. Check out Source Nutrition. Hey, Wayne Williams, speaking of horses, but you're not looking at Wayne Williams, you're looking at Mr. Bill Skibby. And Bill runs this entire event, so Bill, tell us about this 25th anniversary.
Wayne, we're excited about the 25th anniversary of the Rocky Mountain Horse Expo. We've had a great growth period. We've had a great rejuvenation of the Expo. It's full of over 150 activities for over the 3-day period, and people are enjoying themselves here at the Expo, and that's what it's all about. They're learning about horses, they're wanting horses, and we're growing our industry.
It's very good. The main event show was great, the night show. The drill team showcase was fantastic. So let's just tell everybody happy 25th Rocky Mountain, right?
You bet. Happy 25th Rocky Mountain Horse Expo. We've got even more to come next year. A lot of new things happening. We want you to be here.
We're looking forward to it. Thank you, Bill Skibby, the 25th anniversary of this Rocky Mountain Horse Expo.
Thanks for being here, Wayne.